choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me. Cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL on this fine afternoon brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get him going. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ballgame, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
The Ravens had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road, but now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
On third down, Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body, and he was able to get in there and make a great play.
And the next-gen stats show us the top speed there, better than 18 miles an hour. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The first time out, they had the interception. That stopped their drive 3 points the other way, so now they work from behind.
They do, but he's got to walk out on the field like he's working from ahead. All right, he's got to walk out like, hey, I just threw a touchdown pass, because all eyes on his team are on him. They gain their confidence from the way he reacts his demeanor and how he plays, he's got to show that he has confidence in himself.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. Here's Jackson to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Noah Igbenogany. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. After the turnover, it's Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he's got room. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for Miami. 46 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press there.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Raheem Mostert, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
From the 31, Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up here in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And room there to work it inside the 25. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here comes Dobbins on the toss right. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, it's Drake. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Oh, and for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have a short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. This will be caught. It's Waddle. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
They're going for it with Dobbins. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Jackson now. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you've got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to pass. Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing again on second down. Tua. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Dolphins have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Keon Crossan.
And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 33. Sanders' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a time. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Once again, it's Mostert. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
The gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
From the gun, a run with Mostert.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Watch out now, 50 series.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Back to the ground on 1st down, Edmonds. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Come on, set.
A run with Mostert up the middle. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 76 yards rushing now from Mostert as he picks up a 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And they will take a knee here.
Ready up.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Xavier Howard.
To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
right at the 50-yard line.
On the handoff, this is Mostert.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
They hand it off to Mostert.
And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And they take a knee. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National